Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. It's all right. Today we will go back roughly about 5,000 years ago to the beautiful land of Mathura. So Mathura is a holy place which is very much revered through all ages as the land of devotion. Because devotion is sweetness personified, the land of Mathura, this holy tract of land, is also imbued with a lot of sweetness. In Sanskrit, that which is sweet is called as Madhur. Therefore, actually, the land of Mathura is very Madhur. So it is Mathura. So the land of Madhura mellows. But there used to be a demon of the name Madhu. Horrible person. So of the four brothers in Treta Yuga, the age of Lord Ram, of the four brothers, the youngest, Shatrughna, he came up to Lord Ram and he said, my name is Shatrughna, which basically means that my enemies are terrified of me. I very easily defeat my enemies. But I have never gotten an opportunity to prove that I am true to my name. So please let me go to this forest of the Madhu demon, Madhuvan, and let me punish him. So Shatrughna had come to this forest and he defeated the demon Madhu, killed him. Madhuhanta. One of Shatrughna's name is Madhuhanta. He who saved the people from the atrocities of the demon Madhu. So now Shatrughna established his kingdom in this beautiful forest. And he, by his wonderful qualities, he made the people living in that tract of land feel very, very happy and comfortable. So since then, that place is called as Mathura. So about 5,000 years ago, a young lad, about 10 years old, he was very intrigued by this place. Some of his friends, they convinced him that this is an interesting place to visit. Or maybe he himself had done research on ChatGPT. He had found out Mathura is a beautiful city. So he told his father, Baba, he addressed his father as Baba. He said, Baba, this time when you go to pay your taxes in Mathura, I would like to come with you. So Baba said, you have to ask your mother. She has to agree. So he goes to his elder brother. He says, Dada. His brother says, no, go away. He says, no, listen to me. He says, you're up to something, I don't want to be a part of it. He said, Dada, you're such a wonderful person. Everyone trusts you. People have so much faith in you. All right, tell me, come to the point, says Dada, his brother. Please ask mother that both of us can go to Mathura. That was not his plan. When he talked to his father, he said, I will be. But he knew that his brother would be better suited to convince his mother. Or rather, he knew that his mother would not listen to him. So the elder brother goes to mother and says, Maya, addressed the mother as Maya. Maya, Kanha and I would want to go to Mathura. Maya said, Thou, you are the eldest of the family. Why do you come up with such preposterous suggestions? We've never seen the city. And you know, Baba will be there with us. will listen to all of his instructions. And don't worry, I am there. I'll take care of Kana, the little one. So the mother agrees. The father takes them to Mathura. Now he has messaged all of his friends on the group. They call their group the Indomitable Boys. Something like that. Hey, all of us should go to Mathura. Yes, 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 yes. So they all convinced their parents, each from every family, a male member was going to file their taxes in Mathura. So, see, they had Chat GPT, but they could not file taxes online. They had to do that in person. The State Department is always a little slow, isn't it? Yeah. So all of them prepared to go to Mathura. They reached the city. The king, Nanda Maharaj, sets up his camp. The little one comes up to the king, who's also his father now. He says, Baba. He says, yes, son. We will be very good boys. I know. What do you want? He says, whenever you come up to me and talk so sweetly, I know you have a demand. What is it? We just want to go and see the city. He says, all right, take thou with you. He says, yes, yes. So Dauji was famously known as Balaram. He gives instruction to all the boys, behave yourself. Everyone says, okay. They go down the city lanes, mesmerizing. Young boys from the rural heartland, all they've seen is tall mountains, huge forests. Suddenly they see the concrete jungle. They're like, wow, skyscrapers. They've never seen anything beyond 2 levels up. It's like 5 levels. Wow. Many things happen on the way. One incident that stands out is an elephant. Trained assassin. About 5,000 years ago, elephants were trained to be fighters in war. Not all of them. So there was special training for them. They knew how to crush an entire platoon, a horde of elephants. Obviously, they needed a mahout. They needed someone who could control them, give them directions, a rider. This elephant belonged to the special forces. The elephant seals. The seals. Trained commandos. This elephant was a trained commando. Lethal. Comes down the very path with these young boys led by Balaram. Meanwhile, his little brother, Krishna, somewhere along the way, 10 meters in their journey, he's already taken the lead. He's right there in front. So Krishna and Balaram see the elephant come towards their party. Kuvalya Peed. The entire city has emptied the roads because the elephant had quite some reputation on social media. The army was like that, put so many ads. We have the most trained assassin, the dash 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 of the enemies, Kuvalya Peed. Krishna goes, it looks at us, hey, an elephant, let's ride it. Friends are like, go for it. This is what happens when parents don't give access to their children lots of social media sites. They have no idea who Kovalia Pida is. Maybe it's a good thing, not giving access. So to cut the story short, bang bang, some little maneuvers here and there. The elephant has two huge tusks. One of them is pulled out by Krishna, the other is pulled out by Balaram, and they use that tusk to beat that elephant to pulp. The elephant is dead. The elephant was actually trying to finish them off. So these elephants, they had been manipulated by AI. So they had these chips inserted into their frames, and remotely the drone operators, they're controlling the elephant's moves. So the elephant was definitely there to finish off these boys, beginning with Krishna and Balaram. But Krishna and Balaram put an end to the elephant. Everyone goes, Hari Bol, Jai, Jai, victory, victory. Krishna and Balaram, they're like, yes. They don't have many opportunities to pose for pictures, right? Splash, headlines. What do you think? Now that Kovalipira is gone, what do you think? The reporters are out there on the street. So someone shouts out, oh, what to speak of this elephant? We would consider them to be great heroes if they come to the Rangashala. So Krishna and Balaram like, Rangashala? That sounds very exotic. The name itself is so interesting. Rangashala. Wow. Basically, the Rangashala is the equivalent of the gladiators arena. Where the gladiators fight. That is a Rangashala. They entered this arena. Huge stadium. And it's super packed. Because the common public has come to watch great fighters duel. Something like what is it, WWF or something like that? WWE. Yeah. Sponsored by the great Kansa, the king of Mathura. Hmm. Everyone's enjoying this? Okay. The boys enter, the king is right there on his high seat, King Kansa. All glories to Kansa Maharaj goes to west end of the stadium. All glories to Kansa Maharaj, the east end of the stadium. Kansa is like, let the game begin. Everyone's like, what game? Immediately, the center of the arena is a center of attention for the entire public as they watch two beautiful, handsome young boys looking as delicate as flower petals. It's as if beauty personified is dripping off every limb of their body. An artist's dream, a poet's muse, Krishna and Balaram. So everyone forgets they've come here to watch a fight. They're like, wow, is this a beauty pageant? Something like that. And such handsome boys. Enter Chanur Mushtek. You know those ogres? What are they? Those big stomping creatures that enter any fighting arena. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Chanur and Mushtek come like that. Their names are Chanur and Mushtek. Krishna says, now I think there's going to be a fight. Right to the point. Balaram says, really? He's like, why? Krishna is like, just enjoy. Have fun. Balaram says, all right, they do high fives. Face Chanur and Mushtik. Krishna says, I'll take this person. I like Chaz. You take moves. Chanur is fighting with Krishna, Mushtik with Balaram. They make a few wrestlers' moves. And then Krishna says, oh, I'm getting bored. Smashes him. Left, right, left. Chanur's gone. I am laughing so much. Balaram says, if you can do it with the right hand, I can do it with the left. He goes like this. Mushtik is defeated. At this point of time, this is where we also have to participate. So you have to repeat after me, okay? I'll recite, you repeat. Is it all right? Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanora Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Did you understand what we recited? Those of you who did not understand, please raise up your hands and I'll explain. What it means is that after this lecture, each one of you has to give me $100. $100 each. That's fun, isn't it? Not for you, for me. No, that's not the actual translation of this Sanskrit verse. Vasudeva Sutta. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, when he appears as the avatar, Supreme Lord descending in this world, avatar, he comes as a son of a very powerful kingsman, a prince, Vasudev. prince of the Vrishni dynasty. So therefore Krishna is famous as Vasudeva Sutta, the son of Vasudev. But just because he is somebody's son, just because Sir Donald Trump is someone's son, doesn't take away the fact that he's a president of the United States of America. Right? Most powerful person on the planet as of today in terms of political clout and power. True? So he's someone's son. Generally, sons are sons. The idea of a father's son or a mother's son brings in warm feelings. But when you speak of the president or a very powerful ruling authority, there is awe and reverence. Correct? Hence, Vas, the poet here, the composer says, Vasudeva Sutam Devam. Vasudev's son is the supreme personality of Godhead, Deva. And as Deva, what did he do? Mardanam. Mardan means you know this word. Do you like this word, killing? Mardanam means put an end to or stop. Mardan means stop. You know the stop sign? It is Pida Mardanam. So the Sanskrit name for the stop sign would be Speeda Mardanam. Your speed has to come down to 0. So it puts an end to whatever momentum your vehicle has. So Kansa Chanura Mardanam. Kansa Mardanam, Chanur Mardanam. Puts an end to Kansa and puts an end to Chanur. But we've only heard about Chanur as of yet. What about Kansa? Poor Mustik is feeling left out. He is not being mentioned in this verse, right? Because this verse is speaking about Deva, who is Vasudeva Sutta. Vasudeva Sutta is also Balaram. Vasudeva Sutta is also Balaram is also the son of Vasudev, born of Rohini. So Vasudev's son Krishna is born of Devaki, one of his 8 wives, and his son Balaram is born of Rohini, the other of his 8 wives. Right? But Devam, so this is Krishna. So Krishna was so generous in letting Balaram handle Mushtik. So the composer does not make any reference to Mushtik. So who would we want to be killed by? Krishna or Balaram? Because then our names would come in this verse. I hope none, right? We don't want to be killed. We want our material desires to be put to an end, isn't it? Right? But then if we put our material desires to an end, that is an end to our existence, correct? What do? We just play it safe. We let Krishna make the call. We are very careful of making sincere prayers. What if it comes out to be true? Isn't it? A lot of us have chanted Hare Krishna today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are sincere in not chanting this sincerely. Because if we chant this sincerely, in all sincerity, if we chant this prayer sincerely, then we'll have to do service. That is a very haunting idea, like Halloween idea. Service, my God. We like to engage people in service. That's an easier proposal. Therefore, everyone wants to be a very nice devotee so that they become senior devotees so that we can engage people in service and no one can engage us in service. Amazing strategy. So now we are trying, we are making all attempts whenever possible, whenever we are consciously awake. That, my dear Lord, please let us engage in your service and not be distracted by material desires. Try and make those prayers. Like in this August gathering, I can see, except me, all of you have made those prayers. I'm just speaking of myself. Black sheep. So Krishna and Balaram, they fight with Chanur Mushtik. Now Kansa is seeing his best of fighters. The recently crowned world champions in wrestling, Chanur and Mushtik. Undefeatable. They're gone. He snaps his fingers like that so that all of us can stay awake. How does Kans know what we are doing? 3. Kuta Shala Toshala. 3 wrestlers jump into the arena. 3 against 2. The outcome is the same. Krishna and Balaram are standing there, the 3 wrestlers are down. Kans is so agitated because he has invested so much money in these 5 stocks, and suddenly Krishna and Balaram has crashed the market completely. Kans can see all of his investment gone. He's basically contemplating jumping off the skyscraper building. But then he says, before I jump off, let me try and steal from others. Typical Kansa. People like Kansa, even if they suffer losses, they know of ways of how they can steal from other investors. Throw out this Krishna and Balaram, drive them out of this kingdom, capture their father Nanda Maharaj, kill Vasudev, kill Ugrasen, capture the entire Vrishnis and put them into prison, and usurp all of their properties. When Krishna hears Kansa go raving mad like that, he's like, oh, this is the end of the Game of Thrones season 8. The Mad King has to go. He jumps into the stands to the high dais of the king, catches Kansa. Now, I leave it to your imagination, by the throat, by the neck, by the collar, whichever way. Gets hold of Kansa. And with one forceful throw, it throws him right down into the middle of the arena onto the wrestling ground. And then, he just finishes him off, just like that. Just by capitulating him into this trajectory, throwing him right into the middle of the arena from his high seat, Kansa is gone. Now, if you're a fan of Srimad Bhagavatam, this is where you feel a little let down by the Srimad Bhagavatam. Come on, give us some nice fight. Chanana must have fought. Kuta, Shala, Toshala. You don't even know who they are. They fought, and Kansa is gone. He's a king. Srimad Bhagavatam says, hey, I did something, I tried my best. What is your best? You see, before Krishna reached the dais and caught hold of the king, Kansa had already jumped up from his seat trying to run away. Kansa takes about five steps back, pulls out his sword and says, Krishna, don't come near me, don't come near. Trembling with the sword in his hand. Krishna goes, shh. The sword is gone, he picks up, throws him. Bhagavatam says, that's all I can do. But we have a very, very dear well-wisher, all of us. He knows that we crave for action, just as we crave for nice sweets, nice prasad. Craving for action. Right? We like to hear gossip, and gossip has to be juicy. So it has to be action-filled gossip. If it is not action-filled gossip, how can it be Gram Katha? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he advised his wonderful friend and follower, Raghunath Das. He advised him, Gramya Katha na shunive. One must not listen to gossip. But we want to be servants of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are not friends of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So that advice may not apply to us. Unfortunately, it does apply to us. So Srila Prabhupada knows that we want some action. This is our dear well-wisher, Srila Prabhupada. So in his rendition of the wonderful activities of Sri Krishna from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he presented it in a concise form, the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. He says, Krishna pushed down Kansa, straddled his chest like you straddle a pony or a horse. So he straddled his chest. So Kansa is a 6 foot 10 inches man. Krishna is probably 4 feet at that point of time, 10 years old. He says, giddy up, giddy up. straddling his chest, and he punches him. How dare you want to capture Nanda Maharaj? How dare you want to kill Ugrasen? I have not even met my grandfather as of yet. You want to kill him off? Punches him. Kansa's life force is gone. It leaves his body. His life force is like Hare Krishna, Krishna. His life force says Hare Krishna to his body. Like when we take leave of devotees, what do we say? Hare Krishna. So Kansa's prana vayu, his life force, said, Hare Krishna Kansa Maharaj, it was not very good to be associated with you. I'm leaving. So took shelter of Krishna. Because at the moment of death, Kansa saw Krishna and his complete attention was in Krishna. Krishna gave him his blessings, liberation. But the Vishnu Puran, most wonderful Vishnu Puran, felt that the people, the residents of Mathura who were sitting there in the stadium, these residents of Mathura were not convinced whether Kansa was still alive or was he really dead. So the Vishnu Puran ji, the great Vishnu Puran, called up Srimad Bhagavad Puran, and said, hey, the audience needs to be convinced. Srimad Bhagavatam said, Ruko jara, please wait. I'll let you know what happens. Krishna caught hold of the beautiful, flowing, silken, shampooed, fragrant hair of Kansa. And he dragged his lifeless body around the stadium. And when people saw Kansa being dragged around, they felt relief. Because Kansa had given so much of terror in the heart of every single individual that the kind-hearted souls of Mathura, who never knew anything but compassion in their hearts, even their hearts felt relieved seeing Kansa's lifeless body being. It was like terror being. They were visualizing terror being subdued. A terrorist was dead. All right. Is there a significance to this story? So, in the scriptures, Kartika na samo maseshu. Of all the 12 months of the zodiac, of the calendar year, the month of Kartik stands apart. The month of Kartik is the best. And therefore, in the month of Kartik, it is very important that we listen to the exploits of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Our ancestors in our spiritual lineage. We call them as acharyas, great teachers, powerful visionaries, deep realizations they had, spiritual realizations. They state that Devaki, as the mother of Krishna, is devotion personified. She is Murtiman Bhakti. She is the personified form of devotional service. Because it is devotional service that attracts Krishna, it is devotional service that gives us Krishna. Mother Devaki is personified bhakti or devotional service. But devotion personified has been captured and jailed by Kansa. So bhakti is not freely available. It is only by the mercy of Krishna that there can be a jailbreak. So Kansa, who has jailed, on whose orders Devaki has been put into jail behind bars, Kansa represents fear of devotional service. Bhaya. It is fear that keeps us away, or it is fear that jails, puts behind bars, constricts our natural proclivity as spirit soul to be devotionally active. The natural propensity of every living entity is to serve Krishna. Great saint and author Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he makes a statement. जीवेरा स्वरूप है कृष्णेर नित्य दास. The natural inclination of every living entity is to serve Krishna happily, uninterrupted service unto Krishna. That is a natural proclivity. But in illusion, we imagine Krishna to be matter. And we imagine material pleasures to be satisfying to our heart. So Kansa is this fear that if I surrender to Krishna, then I will have to give up all of my material desires. So who is powerful enough to help us get freedom from this fear? Kansa Mardanam. One who can destroy Kansa. The fear of devotional service. Srila Prabhupada writes this in his purport too. Kansa represents that fear. So when we pray to Krishna, that is the prayer you make to Krishna. Oh Krishna, please come and finish off all my material desires. And God forbid, if that happens tomorrow, I hope you don't feel sorry about it. Like your wife or your husband wakes up tomorrow and sees you, oh Krishna, where are you, Krishna? Where is Krishna? Kota hai, kota hai, kota hai Krishna. Your wife is like, that's only in the drama that you do. You're presenting it on God Purnima. But then you do not give up. Or your husband says, relax, relax. We have to finish our morning chores. And you're like, where are you, Krishna? Krishna, Krishna, kota hai, kota hai. This is the result of you fortunately chanting this verse today. And if it doesn't happen, it's all right. We are used to it. We've been chanting Hare Krishna since so long. There's not much change that we can see except that we just finish off what we are supposed to do, tick the box. So other than that, there's still hope. The hope is somebody who's just like us in the same boat is going to save us through devotee association. That is the hope. It's like you're in a boat and you have a hole in the boat. And with devotee association, you feel safe because the other devotee is going to save you. The other devotee says, I have a solution. And that other devotee starts making another hole in the boat on the other side. And you're like, will that work? He says, or she says, yes. The water will come in through here and go out from there. Come in through one hole and flow out the other hole. Perfect Krishna conscious society. And Srila Prabhupada warned us that in devotee association there should be no prajalpa, non-essential talk, filter it out. Have only essential conversations. So we are in the presently we are in the bright moon phase of this present month, the holy month of Kartik. And congratulations, because yesterday was the day that Krishna killed Kansa, which is celebrated all over the planet and the universe as Dashami, where Krishna kills Kansa, Kansa Vadha. Just as Ravan Vadha is celebrated as Dashami, similarly Kansa Vadha, Vadha means the end. So the end of Kansa happened on this particular bright moon phase day, the day of the bright moon, 10th day of the bright moon, 5,000 years ago in the month of Kartik. So Kartik Shukla Dashami is Vijaya Dashami. So happy Vijaya Dashami. And today is happy Ekadashi, Kartik Shukla Ekadashi. So we haven't, as right now, we are feeling so very excited about Vijaya Dashami and we haven't gotten over it. And the excitement of Kartik Shukla Ekadashi comes forth. So what is Kartik Shukla Ekadashi? I have only 5 minutes, so it's going to be the rendition of Kartik Shukla Ekadashi story is going to be super fast. So in the kingdom of Vidisha, which is a holy city right in the heartland of Bharatvarsha. Vidisha is a city of Vidushas, Vidushi people, spiritually very, very astute. Therefore, the land is called as Vidisha, present day Indore. not outdoor. Vidisha. Ruled over by very, very saintly king, Rajarshi, Rukmangada. Rukma Angada. Just as Rukmini, her very existence embodies such love and excitement for Krishna that she is Rukma in color, very bright red. Like she's so translucent that the blood flowing through her body gives a tinge to the skin color. Rukmavati, Rukmini. So Rukmangada. His wife, Sandhyavali. Sandhyavali is basically the most auspicious of all times, Sandhya. And Avali means series. So, of any day, according to this culture of Sanatan Dharma, the Sandhya is the most auspicious time for spiritual evolution. Sandhyavali, perfect as a queen for King Rukmangada. Oh, that watch is a little slow. The clock. It's not a watch, clock. Sorry. Let's just stick to 5 minutes. They have a son. The son's name is Dharmangada, the very embodiment of religious principles. Rukmangada was somehow or the other inspired by Srila Prabhupada. Our Srila Prabhupada, Krishna says, many, many years ago, I gave this knowledge to the sun god, etc. So Srila Prabhupada is present there. I just made that up. Because being inspired by philosophy, he made it mandatory for everyone in his kingdom, whether they like it or not, to fast from food and water on Ekadashi. So you have to fast, you have to fast, you have to. People are like, why? Can we just at least have potato chips, fries, Gauranga potatoes, cheese, cream? No. That you can have only in the Kali Yuga time when great saint known as Prabhupada establishes this movement. You can have the luxury of that, but in my times, fast. And the fasting has to begin after lunchtime, the day before Ekadashi, that is the Dashami, the 10th day, and it gets over the evening of the 12th day, Dashami. So practically you're fasting for 48 hours. People like, we want to leave the kingdom, we want to leave the kingdom. He says, anyone who enters the kingdom, it is a one-way ticket. You cannot leave. For thousands of years he ruled and everyone had to fast every single Ekadashi 2 times a month. People really did not want to live long. They are so eager for liberation right there and then. Because the king had read Srila Prabhupada's books. He said on Ekadashi you should fast. Because Ekadashi is a day of Hari. Hari Vasara. The day of Lord Hari. Total fast. No food, no water. Somebody asks, so can I take lemonade? It's not food. No. No drinks. And no food. Yamraji was not feeling happy. Chitragupta was a little relaxed, his assistant. Because anyone who left their body under the rule of King Rukmangada would go to Vaikuntha, spiritual world. Whether they willingly accepted Ekadashi or did not accept Ekadashi. Whether they were happy doing Ekadashi or they are not happy doing Ekadashi, they did the fast. So even if unknowingly you fast on Ekadashi, the benefit is you go back to the spiritual world. So all of them are getting liberated. Yamaraj is like, can I file for unemployment benefits? He goes to Lord Brahma. He says, Lord Brahma, this is happening. Even the unqualified people are getting entry into the spiritual world. Brahma says, what can I do? Even I, Brahma, I worship the Supreme Lord, Sri Hari. And directly or indirectly, if you have dedicated some service to Lord Hari, you're guaranteed a place in the spiritual world. That's good to hear. So the guarantee is there. When you encash it, depends on you. If you've done some service to Lord Hari, you have to encash that guarantee. So you want to do it this year, next year, this birth, next birth, 10 births, that is up to us. But the guarantee is there. So he says, so then should I just close down office? What should I do? Tell me what I should do. What is my service? And how can we be sure that this actually is beneficial to living entities? So Brahmaji says, all right, let me test King Rukmangada. So he creates from his mind a beautiful, beautiful maiden whose name is Mohini, the enchantress. He tells her, please approach Rukmangada, entice him, test him. And he goes, whispers something into his ear. Basically, he gave the format of the question paper which would come when Rukmangada would sit down for his examination. So she knew exactly what she had to do. Rukmangada got interested in her. How did he get interested in her? So he felt that he had ruled the kingdom good enough, well enough. Now he should hand it over to his son Dharmangada. He does that. Dharmangada being a very, very loving son, he refuses because he wants his father to stay, but he understands that this is desire of his father, so duty comes above such familial love, especially if you're in the king's family. So he accepts that position, he retires, goes to the forest, there he meets Mohini, or Mohini actually comes to meet him. He's attracted to Mohini, they decide to get married. So Sandhavali gets a message, you're going to have a co-wife living with you. She is little aghast that he had taken retirement, pension benefits, and now is coming back to work. What does it mean? So, but she is a very decent human being, so she welcomes them back into the kingdom. And when she is back into the kingdom, Mohini makes the king go gaga over her, totally enchants him. And the king says, whatever, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, to whatever desire she expresses. One fine day, she tells the king, I want to eat. The king says, all right, go ahead. But I want to eat along with you. The king says, not possible, it's Ekadashi. I want the entire kingdom to eat. The king says, no, the entire kingdom cannot eat. They have to fast. He says, why are you not fulfilling my desire? I said, you can eat. I'm not stopping you from eating because I love you so much. You've heard that? Sometimes you love someone so much that you give them some concessions. Giving a concession, you can eat. She says, no. He says, I'm sorry. Somehow, even after being distracted by her beauty, he still is firm on following the vows of Ekadashi. She says, all right, if you want to stay adamant, king says, well, what can I do? This is a vow. I cannot take back my vow. I cannot let my citizens take back the vow. I cannot let my son's citizens, because now he's the king, take back the vow. I want them to follow the vow because this vow is very beneficial. If you want, you can take my life. I'm ready to give up my life. I don't want to give up my life because I want to spend time with you. I want to live every moment of my life with you. But if it is not acceptable for you that all of us do Ekadashi, then I offer my life unto you. So she said, okay, so this is going to be some barter right here, some barter here. This for that. Then all right, all of you can do Ekadashi, whatever you want to do, it's all right. But in return, I want, I want to make a deal. In return, I need something. He says, whatever it is, I give it to you. He tells her, she tells him, chop off the head of your son, the king. He says, what? Why is he involved here? This is the king. She says, well, he's doing the same thing that you're doing, forcing everyone to fast on Ekadashi. Chop off his head. So the king was very, very truthful. He is sharp. He's not wanting to say yes. His son comes into the picture. He says, Father, you've taught me to be truthful. You've taught me to follow the principles of truthfulness. You've taught me that a king should lay down his life for the welfare of others. I am the king now. You're not just my father, but here you are under my protection as a king. So I have to, as a king, according to your teachings, which I hold dearer than life itself, I have to accept whatever comes in the way in performing the duty of a king. I offer my head. If that is what Mother Mohini wants. He takes out his sword and offers it to the king. And there is another king who's trapped into a situation because of a vow and because of his attachment. Picks up the sword and brings it down on the neck of Dharmangada. The sword turns into a garland of flowers. Lord Vishnu manifests there. And he says, right now, since you have already decided to give up your life, your son is also ready to give up his life. You, your wife, and your son are coming with me to the spiritual world. And this is the wonderful story that glorifies the Ekadashi on the day of Shukla Ekadashi Tithi in the month of Kartik. The Skanda Puran glorifies this as the benefit of doing not just Ekadashi, but the greatness of Kartik Shukla Ekadashi. The Supreme Lord pours. Generally, he sends his people and his airplane, but here he comes himself because this is Deva Utthani Ekadashi. It is also called as Prabodhini Ekadashi. It is also called as Hari Bodhani Ekadashi because this is the day the Lord wakes up after his devotees have put him to sleep. He wakes up. In other words, his person is present here on this Ekadashi. It is known as Devotthana Ekadashi or Deva Utthani Ekadashi or Prabodhani Ekadashi. And how does a Vaishnav calendar mention it as? Utthana Ekadashi, which means we have to all stand up and chant Hare Krishna now. Utthana means get up or wake up. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Can take some questions if anybody has any questions, comments, reflections.
Yes, sir. Questions.
Question? Mataji's usually start off here.
Hare Krishna. So, ये wonderful class. So, मेरे प्रश्न कि अभी भीष्म पंचक चल रहा है तो बहुत सारे डिवोटीज है जो भीष्म पंचक में कुछ करना चाहते हैं तो व्हाट यू विल सजेस्ट व्हाट इज योर ओपिनियन ऑन दैट
कीजिए. So the question is that, see, when the Lord wakes up, basically it means that we can start going about our whatever we have put off because the Lord is sleeping. So the Vaishnav tradition is to start off with marriages. Because according to the tradition, marriages don't happen during this 4 months of Chaturmas. So why not get the Lord married himself? So we start off with Tulsi Shaligram Vivah. That happens. Ekadashi onwards, 5 days of celebration of Tulsi Shaligram Vivah. And because this is such a wonderful occasion, the devatas, the denizens of the heavenly planets are so happy, they decided to do Diwali. So this is called as 5 days of Deva Diwali. This is Deva Dipavali. And a few devotees want to do Bhishma Panchak because they're happy that they can do austerities. So it's marriages, Bhishma Panchak, take your pick. Is that all right? The vows of Bhishma Panchak are recommended according to the Vaishnav calendar. And if you are very much inspired, please go ahead. Is that all right?
He wants to take a Bhishma completely. Hare Krishna. But very other.
Krishna Prabhuji, my question is, why did the Lord take the king's wife with him when he asked for the king's son's head?
So I did cut the story out when I was narrating the story. I did it very briefly. But Sandhyavali, the wife of the king, was very much instrumental in helping the king resolve this issue. She was like facilitating this entire conversation or interaction between King Rukmangada, his son Dharmangada, her co-wife Mohini. And when Rukmangada had asked her permission to take retirement and go into the forest, she had said that, my dear king, you will go into the forest, but then I have to stay back here because you've not asked me to come along with you. And that's all right. So I will stay here since that is your desire. And I will just focus on serving Krishna, that I'll do devotional service. So her sacrifice, her dedication, her faith in traditions, her devotional sentiments to the Supreme Lord, all of that were already very attractive to Krishna. So Krishna said that when he appeared, he said that, why shouldn't I become a little more popular? One free with two. So along with, she deserves, actually, she is the most deserving candidate for liberation. And the son and the father, who are a closest of acquaintances, connections, if they are getting liberation, it is she is the rock on which these two personalities uh, they express all of their emotions. She is that shelter from Sandhyavali as the wife and the mother. So Supreme Lord wants to express that even if it doesn't appear, it is not very clear for the world to understand your contributions. I understand. I know your contributions. With your father, with your husband no longer alive, your son no longer alive, you'd rather want to be with them than stay back. So I'm going to take you back to the spiritual world too. Only and only based upon your merit. The other two are being benefited by you also coming along with them. They'll need you. That's the premise that the Purana explains. That's how she got the benediction from Sandhyavali. Is that all right?
Any other questions? This group seems to be a little quiet. Balakrishna Prabhu.
It was really like a 70mm movie, especially from the channel Vardhanam. It was really amazing. Prabhu, one basic question: why the name of the month is Kartik? Actually, people could not convince me. Why the name of the month is Kartik? Is it
This month, sorry. Yes, there is the understanding that, but even before Kartikeya, the month was known as Kartik. It got more embellished by the achievements of Kartikeya. All right? It's like even before Janmashtami was celebrated, Janmashtami still existed. Because Krishna is always the son of Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maiya. So they always celebrate his birthday. But when we celebrate it, it just embellishes that sentiment. Our sentiment, it just embellishes that, right? Okay. So Kartik, every month, according to the Vedic Panchanga, is given a name based upon the constellation that is predominant on the first day of the moon's phase. So the first day, the Pratipad. So the Kritika constellation is predominant in this month. Therefore, the month is known as the Kartik month. That which has the Kritika constellation, Nakshatra predominant. The previous month has the Ashwin Nakshatra. Therefore, it is called as the month of Ashwin. The next month will have the Mrigashira constellation predominant. Hence, it is known as Masanam Margashirshoham. So it is called as Margashirsha. Similarly, the Pausha Nakshatra. Therefore, Pausha month. I think ChatGPT must have brought that up, right? It did, yes. Okay, yes. So that's how the months are known in the almanac, the calendar, the zodiac. Should we stop?
No other questions? Yes, so let's all thank His Grace Rohinipriya Prabhu by loudly chanting Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Making our consciousness uplifted.